While motor racing facilities are not normally known for their opulence, it's nice to know there are one or two exceptions, like the Charlotte Motor Speedway in Harrisburg, North Carolina. Charlotte, quite frankly, puts the opposition to shame. Spectators are treated like family and not just ticket stubs. Seating for 150,000 fans stretches around the banked 1.5-mile oval, and if you want to go up market a notch, there's the plush Speedway Club, which towers over the first turn. The club offers sponsors and corporate executives every modern convenience, from the ritziest of restaurants to conference and banquet facilities. Why, there's even a chandelier, courtesy of the White House. Everything about Charlotte is first class. It's all part of the philosophy of promoter Humpy Wheeler.
You've got to create the illusion that what you've got on this particular day is so fantastic and so unique and so different that you've got to be there. Now, a lot of people can create that illusion through advertising or publicity, but the trick is to make the illusion become a reality so that they get their money's worth.
The traditional lead-up to Charlotte's World 600 this weekend is the Winston Open, a three-segment $1 million sprint contest for the season's top Winston Cup point scorers. Saturday's qualifying race was packed with incidents. Brett Bodine vamoosed from the front row to edge Kenny Schrader inside 30 laps, but in turn was caught and passed by short tracker Mark Martin and Stroh's Thunderbird. Martin led 11 circuits until an engine ventilated. Richard Petty, meanwhile, just couldn't stay out of trouble. This sideways shuffle dropped him 3 spots in the pack. With Martin out, Rick Wilson became the big mover as he claimed the lead from Bodine, only to hit a yellow caution flag for debris on the track. Wilson decided not to pit, electing to stay at the front of the pack. Bodine was scraping the wall the whole second, and Sterling Marlin was coming on strong. Richard Petty's Crashville year continues. He made this spectacular exit at Charlotte, giving rise to the question, is it time for the king to abdicate?
I don't want to be one of the drivers that quits and then tries to come back in a year or two. I'd rather overstay my welcome the first time around and then say, that's it.
Spectacular is the only way to describe Petty's 2 all-time wall bangers. This 1970 concrete crasher at Darlington, or the violent 200 miles an hour free-for-all at Daytona Beach back in February. Petty's early departure from the Winston qualifier opened the door for a Rick Wilson Sterling Marlin sprint to the flag. But Wilson ran out of gas in the closing stages of the event, allowing Marlin to beat home Alan Kawicki. The spectacular exit of the day, though, belonged to Brad Novsinger, who darted off course to find the only opening in the pit wall, and of all things, a stationary pace car.
I couldn't believe it. Come back out and leading the race, and they said didn't get enough gas in the car. And I said, oh, no. So we just had to come back in, put more gas. They didn't. Then we got a set of tires that wasn't just right, and had to come back in again, and we just had to come from back 3 times. And I knew if I ever got through the traffic, that was what was so hard. You know, the car's running too deep and all, and it's just hard to get through the traffic to get up to them. I knew if I got to front, I could outrun them, but it's just hard getting up there.
The $1 million Winston Open is unique in concept. 250 lappers and a 10-lap sprint to the checker. Darrell Waltrip and Jeff Bodine cruised up front for the opening 32 circuits until passed by a strong-running Davey Allison. Favourite Dale Earnhardt was in trouble early after kissing the wall and popping a tyre. During the mandatory stop at the 50-lap mark, he backed up pit road for a quick repair job. The second 50 saw Billy Elliott at the front of the field in the Coors Thunderbird, but he couldn't hold out late speed. The dice for third between Sterling Marlin and Jeff Bodine was also hotting up. Ricky Rudd was also a chance till he clobbered the wall and finished on the infield with painful leg injuries. The break before the final 10-lap sprint saw frenzied work in the pits as crews gassed up the V8 monsters. Lake Speed and Sterling Marlin were looking good.
Well, we had a blistered right front tire there at the end of the race. I don't know what kind of condition Bill was in, but if he was in 100% condition, he's going to be in trouble here in a minute. We're going to put fresh rubber on.
Awesome Bill from Dawsonville came out honking in the Coors T-Bird. Speed dropped into second, but out of nowhere came Terry LABONTE in the Budweiser Chevy. LABONTE stayed out in front to defeat Marlon and Davey Allison. It was his second big win of the season, and he'll be hard to beat in Sunday's Coca-Cola World 600, another $1 million event.
We blistered the tire, we got a lap down, we were able to make our lap back up. So we came back and worked on our car, got it better for the second session. We took off there, went to the front, our car went away again. We fell off the pace there at the end. So we just came in, changed our tire stagger and adjusted the chassis and put some timing in the engine and just kind of guessed at some of the deals we did, you know, on the tire stagger and adjusting the chassis. We knew what direction we needed to go in, but we didn't know how much, and we hit it just right.
Meanwhile, across at Futureland, Indiana's fastest left-turn freeway will later today host the richest ever Indy 500 Classic. $2.5 million purse is almost assured as the fastest field in history lines up with Roger Penske cars dominating the front row. Rick Mears in the yellow Pennzoil Chevy V8 sits on pole after a 4-lap qualifying average of just under 220 miles an hour. Teammates Danny Sullivan and Al Unser share the front line, but there are a couple of regulars who've missed the cut. Ed Pym blew his chances when he bounced off the concrete wall in turn 2 and rode off the March Cosworth. Veteran George Schneider was another to bow out in A.J. Foyt's Lola Cosworth. But proving the 50-year-olds can still cut it with the kids, Johnny Rutherford was able to make the show after crunching the wall the previous weekend.
I was beginning to hear echoes. I'm telling you, it was getting tough out there. Bob Riley, the designer at King Proto Fab, made a couple of calculations with a front-end suspension, changed a couple of things, and the car responded to it very nicely.
With a spare car still at his disposal, A.J. Foyt decided to give promising speed car racer Stan Fox a lucky break. He gave him the car to qualify, Stan did, and now he's the happiest rookie at the Brickyard. A case really of being in the right place at the right time.